Yes, hello again, everyone. Welcome. This is an EntreComp online event, and I am Yasemin from the Turkish National Agency, and I am working as a project officer in the youth department, and I am also in charge of implementing the EntreComp project on behalf of Turkish National Agency. And today's online event is entitled with, as you already know, experiences and tools for organizing youth summer camps on entrepreneurial competences. And our case speakers, Berat Ezel and Aytaç Uzunlaş from Turkey, and also Carmen Moreno Naranjo and Sara Salgado Olero from Spain. And we will introduce them a bit later. And we have organized this event with my colleague Annabelle from Junta de Extremadura. And thank you, Annabelle. Maybe you can briefly introduce yourself, and we can continue our program.
Hello, everyone. I'm Annabelle Favreau. I work for the regional government of Extremadura in Spain, and I belong to the Direction General for Enterprise. We support business development and entrepreneurship competence, training, etc. And well, very happy to see you all today and the great interest this webinar has reached. Yasmin.
Yes, and I would like to share some reminders, actually, housekeeping rules. This online event is being recorded, and keep your camera on if you don't mind. And keep your mix off during the presentation, please. And you can use the chat for your comments and questions at any time. And I would like to share actually what is EntreComp project, what is all about, so we can I can give insight about the project. This EntreComp project actually funded by COSME program of the European Commission, and entrepreneurship competence is recognized as a key competence for lifelong learning by the European Commission, actually. And the project is basically building knowledge, building capacity around the entrepreneurship competences, and in the entrepreneurship competences in the field of youth work, education, and also enterprise and employment. So our direct beneficiaries in this project are life learning organizations such as schools, such as youth work organization, vet schools, universities, and also policymakers, employers, employment support, and enterprise support organization. And there will be, of course, there will be end users for wider beneficiaries of the actions implemented through the strategies of the collaborative community all around Europe. And we have, maybe some of you are familiar with this flower. This is the EntreComp model framework. As you see, we have flower that describes 3 competence area: ideas and opportunities, resources, and also into action. And also there are 15 competences in the flower. So this flower tells us, describe us that how a person can be an entrepreneur for lifelong learning. So this is the main part of the EntreComp project, we can say. And as regarding the project, as I was saying, we are building communities of practice in 5 countries. Belgium, Spain, Italy, Moldova, and Turkey. And if you are one of these countries, you can join our communities, of course. And in the chat, you will find our Facebook group as well, and our website I will share later on. And if you would like to, as I said, create your own community in your country, you can get in touch with us. You are more than welcome. And next slide. And we have a new platform which called is EntreComp Digital Learning Platform. This platform aims to gather together global communities. It is coming up soon, actually. It's not active now, but you can learn, engage in online trainings, and network with other organizations and meet with the potential project partners, and also disseminate your works, your training. So you can pre-register this platform, and when it starts to live, you can get in touch with other people. Yeah, briefly, I would like to share the agenda. As you already know, Berat and Aytaç, they are Turkish youth workers, will share their training experiences on EntreComp training for youth workers. And after that, Carmen and Sarah will share their knowledge on gamification tools for entrepreneurship skills. And after presentations, we will divide into two groups in the breakout room. One group will be dedicated to Turkey. The other group is to Spain, but the language will be English, of course. And in the first group, trainers from Turkey will answer your questions regarding the training experience, and also Berat will share good practice example on entrepreneurship skills on youth summer camps. He has experience. He has organized several trainings actually on this theme. And in the second group, you will be able to practice on tools of gamification with Sarah and Carmen. And now I would like to give the floor to my colleague, Annabelle.
Please, Yasmin. As Yasmin mentioned, the EntreComp Europe project works around three pillars. The first one being the youth work and education practice pillar, non-formal and formal education. And the idea is to support educators, trainers, or youth workers to develop the entrepreneurship skills of the young people they work with. This is why this practice pillar focuses on the youth themes. Also, we will, after the summer, organize another workshop around vocational schools. We are also working on the assessment of entrepreneurship competence. And also very soon we will have open badges to be able to recognize these entrepreneurship competencies at a wider level in Europe. We are working also with the university, and these are the topics that we are working around. Next slide, please, Yasmin. Okay, so who are we? I think that we already introduced ourselves. Jasmine from the Turkish National Agency and myself from the Regional Government of Extremadura. Other partners that are involved in this practice pillar are Eurochambers, who is the coordinator of this project. Also Bantani Education, who are one of the biggest experts, I can say, in entrepreneurship education in Europe. Youth at Work, which is a consortium which gathers if I remember well, Jasmine, 14 national agencies around Europe to give training to youth workers, and Matera Hub, who are our Italian partner, also experts in entrepreneurship and business support. Next slide, please. Okay, so what have we done so far? We have put these resources because they are also available in our website. We have had the opportunity to have Lilian Weikert with us, who showed the EntreComp playbook. It's a very interesting guide, since it explains how to work or how to develop the entrepreneurship competence, the principles that there should be behind. Also, it also shows a lot of tools that can be applied in different contexts. Then we had Philip Bergerman from Flanders University, who showed a very comprehensive module he developed at his university with his students. And today, the webinar we have, and as I mentioned before, after the summer, we will have a webinar workshop based on vet education. And what you can find so far, and again, we invite you to register or pre-register in the EntreComp platform, because you will have access to a lot of resources, tools, and also very interesting and expert conversation around entrepreneurship competence. And I think this is all, and we should give the floor to our trainers. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Annabelle. Before giving floor to our trainers, I would like to share the story behind this training. In the beginning of the year, we plan to organize trainings for youth workers as a part of our national strategy in this project. We organized one training for a youth organization, which name is Youth Volunteer Foundation. The second training was our Eurodesk officers. They are active in the youth work in all around Turkey. As a result of this training, we plan to develop a training module for youth workers. It's also coming soon. We will share with you. So I would like to give floor to our trainers, Berat and Aytaç. Could you also briefly introduce yourself?
Okay. Hello, everybody. First of all, thank you very much for showing interest and being here with us today. And I'd like to thank you for every partner who made this possible. And shortly, my name is Berat Ezel. I live in Turkey now. And last 20 years, I'm mostly working in the youth field in under different subjects. But mainly last 10 years, I'm also working in the entrepreneurship area and social inclusion area. And here in Turkey, I'm also working with the Syrian refugees and economic participation of refugees in Turkey as well. And me and Aytaç both, we are also in the pool of Youth at Work Partnership, which is also run by different national agencies. And right now here, of course, I am here to share with you our experience. Like Yasemin already made a brief entry about how to implement EntreComp model into entrepreneurship trainings. Welcome everybody, also welcome to myself too. Aytaç.
Hi everyone, nice to see you, by the way. I mean, it's great to see some people who are interested to receive some of the knowledge and experience regarding this EntreComp and entrepreneurship also all around the world. And I see also some of our colleagues that we worked together before, and they are here, and some of our participants as well. And we are really happy that we have a chance to share our experience, because one of the challenges was working with Berat, because we were trying to do our best for this part. We work a bit hard for that one. And it would be nice that we are going to share. Please feel free to ask any question, because it was a kind of first time to use EntreComp as a tool for a entrepreneurship training. Actually, we were quite satisfied with the results, and we are happy, and we are going to share. But maybe you can start to give some information, then I will contribute as well.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that would be also nice if you share the screen with the objectives of the training course that we designed before. Basically, Yasemin already started explaining the story of these two training courses that we wanted to, design with the participants, because EntreComp model is new, and especially in Turkey, it should be recognized and at the same time disseminated. While we are doing this, of course, youth workers and the young people who would like to be active in the entrepreneurship area should be aware of this framework. Of course, since we are youth workers and mostly using non-formal learning and experiential learning methodology in our entrepreneurship training modules, so we try to come up with some new ideas by contribution of our participants who has the similar background. So first we have two different modules to implement. The first one was with an umbrella organization, a network organization in Turkey, TOG, Community Volunteers Foundation, and its members, and it's also its trainers. And since they are not directly involved with the entrepreneurship area, we designed 2-3 days informative module with them, how to give information about EntreComp to young entrepreneurs. And then the second module, which was 5 days, which Aytaç is showing you as right now, was designed mostly for active youth workers who are already working in the entrepreneurship area and who has a huge potential of disseminating it. That means Eurodesk multipliers was crucial in this point to be part of this designing module. So two modules were totally different. The first one was more informative. The second one was more a kind of designing camp together with the volunteer participants, how to implement EntreComp model into entrepreneurship trainings. So maybe we can mention about some objectives on the up, Aytaç, that which I already mentioned, but in order to design these modules, first we wanted to focus on identify competences of young entrepreneurs that can be obtained by the experiential learning. The second one was to introducing a new approach on competence-based learning on the entrepreneurship field, because like you already mentioned, gamification, which is also new, and also some different methodology that we are using for EntreComp entrepreneurship area. But if we are designing them through the model of EntreComp, or we are designing it according to the needs of participants itself. So we try to engage EntreComp model, the flower, into the practice together with the participants. And like the others that you read, to design and create innovative systems for youth workers, trainees, and experts. Right now, we would like to share with you the ones which we designed for youth workers and trainers. For the experts and the private sector, especially, and SMEs, we plan to design another model for them, because when the target group is changing and the needs are changing, the model is changing, the module is changing. This is what we explored on these two modules when we design. And basically, what I can say, the first one was challenging because participants were not directly involved with the entrepreneurship area, so they didn't have experience on the background to put it into practice. So First 2 days, we were mostly working on to create a basis on the entrepreneurship. And the last day, the EntreComp framework, what it is, and how to disseminate, how to give this information to young people who would like to be entrepreneurs. Basically, that was the outcome. And I would say, in the end, the feedbacks that we got from participants, it was informative. At the same time, it was a bit hard to focus since it was a new approach for them. But they were motivated to start entrepreneurship working group under their network, then to implement EntreComp in it. That is the main outcome of this first 2-3 days of training module. And the second one, which was done for the Eurodesk multiplier, it was the most, according to me, the crucial and fruitful work that we done together, because we had some unexpected outcomes, which is a good way. In the end of this 5 days training course, first morning sessions, maybe I thought you can show the day-by-day program. The first morning sessions, we focused on the EntreComp model framework, the flower, and then afternoons, we start doing workshops, implementations with the participants to design session outlines and sessions through these competencies and outcomes of competences of EntreComp. And that was the main flow that we already expected. But after talking with the participants and getting an expectation round with them, we changed our strategy a bit, and we also added as an outcome 3 different training approach to this EntreComp. So in the end of this 5 days training course, as an output, we had 3 different entrepreneurial modules, which is designed for EntreComp. One of them is face-to-face model, another one is a hybrid model, and the other one is online training model. So we had 3 different modules for how to deliver this entrepreneurial EntreComp program. And right now, we had, this is the last thing that I want to mention, by talking with the participants, which is Eurodesk multipliers, they will be testing these prototypes with their volunteers, at the same time colleagues in the local level, and then they will share the results with them, because they are the ones who designed it, and we give them feedbacks. So after we have these results, me and iTouch, we are planning to design a kind of handbook in English as well, not only in Turkish, in English, to disseminate and then see how it could be implemented. And that source, of course, will be open for updates and also improvements by the support of experts and young people and youth workers like we are. Basically, that was the story of the program. Maybe Aytaç can mention about some more methodologic part.
Okay, thank you, Berat, that you explained very well about the background and how we did it. So I would like to mention about the, we need to inform the, I mean, you can guess easily, but we organized this training via Zoom. It was online, and with the Zoom that we try to use all the possibilities, all other digital tools as well, like Jamboard, like Padlet, Linoid, and some of the other tools as well. And during this training, also we developed other, like EntreComp and DigiComp as well. It was one of the dimensions that I would like to mention. And again, I would like to give some information regarding the participants. I mean, the profile of the participant was very challenging, because to do an EntreComp training, I mean, the profile should be uniform for us. And it would be easy, but to have youth workers as a profile to train them about the EntreComp, it's not easy. And because of it, as a methodology, we use this non-formal learning. And non-formal learning is life-saving for us. And we focus learning by doing. I mean, because of it, we put them in a oven. We want them to do something. I mean, the main approach of us with Berat was to let them to do. In the morning, as a informative methodology, we inform them. And while this information, what I noticed, one of the most important part, to have a good examples. I mean, if you have a really good examples, you can do it easily, because I'm leading one of a startup in a technopark in Turkey. I'm having lots of, this is my standard job, like I'm doing. Each day I'm facing a lot of financial issues, like a tax issue. I know what is the rate for the income tax, and this kind of information are necessary for this one. And the other approach, methodology, and we use, the aim and objectives were clear, Berat already mentioned. In our approach, we inform the participant, okay, EntreComp, it's a kind of framework, and it's a tool, not the aim in the training. It was one of the main division that we did. And examples, learning by doing, and also some of the concrete examples are quite important in the first part. In the second part, also one more thing that I took as a note, and thanks to team, EntreComp Europe team, and the Turkish translation was a kind of asset for us. I mean, I guess in 5 languages it's available, this practical guide. Normally I don't print anything, but that one I printed because it's really useful, and it was one of the powerful resource that we were using. And I can show some of the image first from the first training from talk team. I mean, for evaluation, for me, the faces are quite important. Maybe you can see that how they are smiling at the end of, even at the end of the training, after 3 days listening us, training together. And I guess Elif is with us in that meeting. And it was one of my kind of parameter indicator for my evaluation. And it was wonderful for them to learn something. And one of the main key approach that we did with Berat is to let them to do. And result-oriented approach, one of them. After that, we said, okay, let's make it more like we prepare more quality way. We prepare the virtual background as well. Maybe you notice now, Berat, Yasemin, and I have the virtual background, and we try to make more like a visibility as well. Actually, we extend a bit the time, and we went more deep inside, but mainly methodology was the same. To let them to do and inform them, and then let participants create their results. Because the team, both of the participant team, they were quite intellectual, quite competent, and quite open for learning. And they were enjoying to discover something, especially entrepreneurship is one of them. So these were the team, and here also the faces are smiling. And maybe I can show one of the approach that we use for the, we use the Jamboard, which is quite a general tool. And we ask them to think the big image. We ask them to think about a training module. The first one that we did, we asked them to design an entrepreneurship training course. Then we asked, and I noticed that the timing is also quite important. And the participant design a training actually. After them, I mean, each team design, we have the teamwork inside them. After them, they design one of the workshop. For example, they design inside a training course, it's called Entrepreneurship 101. And one of the workshop was also designed together with the team. For example, EntreTalks. And EntreTalks is designed with all the aim and objectives, methodology, needs, definition, and the notes. And they design online activity, face-to-face residential activity, and one of the challenging one was the hybrid, online and residential together. And luckily, each day we receive minimum 3 outcomes for 3 days, and we have more than 15, let's say, trainer script.
Yeah,
all the details are.
Session outlines.
Session outline. I mean, for me, it's a kind of script that,
yeah.
that I can go and deliver an activity. This is the good part. And yes, then we will report to all of them to you. For example, that one is also girişimcilik bureau, means like an entrepreneurship station. And it's about like a group dynamic, developing ideas, introducing the ideas, creativity. And you see here, this is residential and World Cafe, and they're going to test, and then we will report them to you. I mean, I really enjoy while delivering this training because I learn a lot. And EntreComp is a wonderful framework that I'm using a lot. And before I was delivering also the entrepreneurship trainings. But after that, I noticed that there were some missing points, and that document, that framework made my job easier because this time I'm not missing any part. I'm collecting all the parts. I know the time is...
I would say thank you. I'm really willing that we have all these materials in English. I'm not sure I would find this, I would know how to pronounce entrepreneurship in Turkish, but I can see it now. And but yes, definitely, I think that we will have to make all these tools and information available in the EntreComp platform, which is really, we really want it to be an exchange of experience platform. So maybe I should introduce now my colleagues from the Youth Institute in Extremadura, who have prepared well, a short part on how we work with gamification, how we develop or how they develop entrepreneurial skills in young people. And well, I give you the floor, Carmen or Sarah. I don't want, who wants to begin first?
Hi, everyone. My name is Carmen. I'm from Spain. I live here in Extremadura. Well, I love working with young people. I love learning with them. Fortunately, my job led me to do this. Today, both Sarah and me are going to talk to you about 3 main concepts: young people, entrepreneurship, and gamification. Extremadura has given great importance to the development and implementation of entrepreneurial skills, especially those aimed at young people, because we all know that young people are the future. So we have to work especially with them. This work is mainly reflected in 2 experiences about we are going to talk to in a minute, the Learning Society of Extremadura and the Net of Spaces for Young Creation. This will also allow us to present you one of the most interesting resources that we are working with. These are the Play and Grow guides. We have 2 of them. They have a complete information about our experience in the work with young people and board games. We'll see it later, but we are completely sure that entrepreneurial skills can be worked and developed with young people using games and especially board games.
Would you like to share the presentation?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Here we are. Now, as we said before, we are going to speak about one of the greatest experience that is taking place here in Extremadura, is the Learning Society. We have a slogan. You can see it here. It's learning is an attitude. This was born with a framework of the European project EntreComp with a clear objective. We want to generate change as people, as a society, with attitude and from innovation. I'm going to show you. As Berat said before, we live in a really changing society. And I think this is very important because the point of this program is to use the change, join it with knowledge, with a good attitude, in order we can find new opportunities for our society, our youngsters, and of course for our region, Extremadura. These are the main concepts we are working with. I think that they are very familiar with you because nowadays, I think most people working with young people or EntreComp are familiar with this. We have learning to learn, social responsibility, citizenship, transforming reality, equality, in our case, Extremadura, of course, but we have to ask some questions. What do we need to get this learning society? Well, the first thing that we have that we need is people. We work with different people, job workers, teachers, families, young people. And how we do this? With training. Talks and workshops are developed, are taking place all around Extremadura with these different groups of people. And the main objective is to transform them into agents of change. They are going to be multipliers. They are going to spread all this philosophy throughout the region, so we can be more and more who believe in entrepreneurship and change and evolution. There are also open conferences that take place every year, and these conferences let us meet, share, know new people, and also spread information. As you can see, this is an interactive presentation. I think you are going to have it later on the chat. We don't have time right now, but if you want to see more information about these open conferences, you have direct links here to 3 of the later conferences that have taken place here in Extremadura. You have some interesting videos where you can see all the workshops, talks, and all the people we have been here sharing information. Now I want to talk to you about the places where Sarah and me are actually working. These are spaces for young creation. This is one of the greatest bets of the government of Extremadura for the spread of EntreComp, entrepreneurial competences, with young people. Now, Sarah is going to tell you more about these spaces for young creation. Come on, Sarah, it's your turn now.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. My name is Sara Salgado Ollero. I'm a youth worker at the Space of Young Creation, the same as Carmen. We are very lucky because we have a job that it is big fun at almost every time. I guess that it happens to you the same as youth workers. And now let me show you all what Space for Young Creation is, at least by means of the Youth Institute webpage. I'm gonna share with you the web page of the institutes. We have shared the links with you at the chat if you want to see them later on. And here in this page, we can find a lot of information of youth interest. And at the top bar, here, agenda of our activities. And here at the top bar, if you go to spaces and factories, you can see all the centers. Come on, here. You can see here all the centers that there are in the territory. We are like a total of 17 centers. Albuquerque and Aldralejo, here is the one where I work in. And what are these centers about? All right. The centers are meeting places for young people. They are centers, but young centers, but with a particularity. Okay, what happened? I'm gonna show you some pictures. Okay, here. They are young centers, but with a particularity that they have great facilities and the necessary tools for the development of creative and artistic activities. We are located in industrial spaces that are no longer in use. The one where Carmen works was an old slaughterhouse, and mine, it was a food market. And there is another center that was even an old church. In every center, there is a musical area, a soundproof place with instruments for rehearsal, for recording, like in these pictures. And there are an area for plastic arts, like in here, an area, a dancing space, like here with mirrors and sound system. There are a place for exhibition and concerts and audiovisual area for photo and movie edition. So these centers provide young people the tools for being creative and to train many entrepreneurial skills. These are places where young people meet and they share and they put their interests in common and exchange their knowledge and their experiences. Our job as energizers is to encourage young people to create their own projects, providing them with the necessary support, information, and tools. We must help them to improve teamwork, to develop networks with other young people, to create associations, organize workshops, festivals, courses, talks, and all kinds of activities that might be of interest for them. If you want to know more about the centers and our activities, you can check the webpage. All right, but now let me show you the webpage and resources for here of the Learning Society of Extremadura webpage. You have also the link at the chat if you want to keep it, to watch it later, because here at the section of resources, you can find very interesting materials that applies the new methodologies developed in this learning society that the Extremaduran government have developed and implemented. I'm going to show them very superficially because the lack of time, that you can download these guides in these links, downloading in Spanish for sure, but I think that you will probably manage to translate them into your native language if you want. And I have, you have the access at the chat. It is the one of aprender es una actitud. That means learning is an attitude. And let's go to see the guides. This is neuroeducation. It is about neuroeducation, how neuroeducation can help us with learning. This is a study on key competencies, about key competencies at working market that can be of interest for ITAC and BERAC as well. Productivity, let's see. This is the knowledge of building team roles to learn how to learn. Guides about childhood, the miracle years, productivity and time management, intelligent emotion management, learning to be mothers and fathers, if the case, how to succeed in life, very interesting for sure, leader and coach, habits of highly effective people, play and grow, with the guides 1 and 2. These are the guides that we are going to deal with at the second part of the workshop. They are game guides to develop the competencies based on EntreComp strategy. Speak well to live better. A practical manual which explains how to turn complex ideas into influential speeches. Very useful as well. This is Play and Grow Part 1, and a guide to make escape rooms, and many others. All these sources are at hand for you at the link. It is true that to download them, you have to complete a survey, but we hope that this is no complication for you. If you have any problem to download them, you can contact either Annabelle or us. Some guides I have heard that may be translated into English soon, so they can be used as an international contact. We hope you can use this material and that you find it useful, as it has been for us, because they are highly elaborated and very interesting guides. That's all. Just remind you that in the later workshop, we will be explaining the tool Play and Grow, part 1 and 2, and we will try to make a game online and to do a fun session. We invite you all to join us. So see you later.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Carmen. I think we are running out of time, and now it's time to go to breakout rooms. Actually, I will open rooms. As I said before, the one is for gamification tools, and one is for the good practice example on youth summer camp. You can join. Which one do you like to attend? So after you joined, I will divide it into 2 groups.
We kindly ask one person from each group to make like a short summary of the experience afterwards when we go back to plenary. So we have more or less half an hour of short small groups, and looking forward to see you afterwards.
I'm going to join the first group. Okay.
Details together. Thank you for the lady. What I wanted to say, if you have some brief information that you would like to get how to design a module by taking EntreComp as a frame for entrepreneurship for different target group. For example, Tatiana already mentioned about pupils, that they would like to do it entrepreneurship trainings for the students. It's different. And for another target group that Soli mentioned, the young people with different background is different. So if you have any questions or anything that you would like to get more information, we can start with this. Then last 15 minutes, we can talk about the summer camps, that how to use EntreComp and outdoor education, outdoors in the frame of entrepreneurship, skills for young people. Is that okay? Okay.
Yes.
So,
can I kind of contribute? I don't know the approach of EntreComp, but our approach here, where young people are just trained, and that's it. So my question will be, are you just developing some kind of a training program, and then you skill them, and then thereafter they are left on their own? Or you give these young people a total package where it is not just training, but it includes as well intervention for them to start their own small businesses or their own enterprises? So at the end of the day, training on its own might not necessarily solve the issue of unemployment among young people, but a complete package of intervention to ensure that at the end of the day, they use the skill, either it's entrepreneurship training plus technical training, and then you provide them with the means to be able to start their own businesses. So on that basis, then when you talk about training, is it just training for the sake of training, yes, or is it part of the package that at the end up with helping this young person to be able to start his or her own business?
Okay, I mean, thank you very much for the question. I mean, it's very actually a clear question, and it has also a specific answer for it. It depends on who we are. For example, if you are talking about personally an organization, institution who is using this training module to empower young people to explore themselves and their limits and skills on entrepreneurial way, then it could be a nice tool to implement for them to understand if they can be an entrepreneur or what kind of skills or competences they should develop to be an entrepreneur, like only a training module, like a tool. But if you're an organization, institution who is delivering this package, then of course there should be some supporting measures before or after this training module. So it depends, honestly. But if you refer right now, of course we are youth workers, but we are working with the Youth at Work partnership platform in Europe, and our main focus is to provide necessary tools and learning designs in the frame of entrepreneurship. I don't know if it is more or less clear.
Thanks. Thanks. I think I'm answered.
Okay, thank you. And it can be also some technical questions as well. For example, how to adapt. Maybe you already have an entrepreneurship workshop or some training program, but you don't know how to give it in the way of to including EntreComp framework in it, according to the target group. We can also maybe help on that way.
I ask something.
Sure.
Yeah. I think we developed also some modules of training teachers how to develop entrepreneurial skills, but I'm sure that we are not able to measure how increase pupils on developing entrepreneurship. can you have some experience? Do you have some experience of this?
You mean the measurement tools
Yes.
of impact?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. We have actually, there are many different measurement tools, but it depends on, as I said, what kind of methodology you are using in the program. For example, if I give an example of our module that we designed, the one that I mentioned, our measurement tool is the monitoring, at the same time follow-up activities with the target group. Why? Because this EntreComp framework is based on experiential learning methodology, which means soft skills. Mostly these are soft skills that young people or youth workers should have, not the hard skills. So it is not so easy or to do all this evaluation or impact measurement methodology with the regular tools that we already use in the formal learning. So monitoring and follow-up is more important, I would say. And another thing is giving long and short-term planning and tasks to the design something with the frame of EntreComp. There are different levels. I don't know if you had chance to check EntreComp Flower or the methodology. If you check the framework, you will see that there are different levels, like beginners, intermediate users, and experienced users on the entrepreneurship area. So for the pupils, I think it should be more beginners and also maybe intermediate as well could be used. And each competence has specific outcome on the flower model. That specific outcome refers an activity. So outcome is going into action by organizing the activity. So that activity should be measurable, honestly. If the activity is measurable that you're going to ask your students to organize, then it will be easy for you to follow up and also monitoring the impact. Maybe I can give some specific example that you organize 2 days workshop with the students and you ask them to design a business idea or business model. And then when you ask them to do some research on it, you should give them a kind of learning plan. For example, how many days they should work on the analysis of market analysis, how many days they're going to come up with the, let's say, business idea, and then how to define the needs of consumers or customers and so on. Then they will have a chance to follow and they will have a chance to measure. You will have a chance to follow and monitor and measure their skills that they gained during the training course. Like, for example, reading and how to research articles about, let's say, entrepreneurship field, or how to design the activities, how to do brainstorming, how to do teamwork together, or how much they are willing to take risk to start a business or enterprise, especially on the early age level. Because recently we were giving workshops to 12 to 16 years old young people. And you cannot imagine what kind of business plans they have. I was really shocked. So the most important thing is not to underestimate young entrepreneurs. They are really skilled in many aspects. This is what I can say.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other, regarding the methodology or target group approach for modules?
Berat, I think you can pass through your summer camp practice. Yes, okay. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, because we have already, I think, 15 or 10 minutes left, or?
Yes. Okay. We have actually 5 minutes left, but
5? Okay, I thought it's 30. Okay. Then maybe I can mention about what is this training model that we designed briefly. And we have an outdoor module designed for young entrepreneurs and also youth workers in order to deliver their entrepreneurship and business plan program through outdoor activity. Basically, it is 7 or 8 days program that mostly 20-25 participants are participating. And then the main idea is connecting young people with the outdoor methodology, like a trekking or hiking experience for 2-3 days. And then during this hiking experience, they are exploring their limits. They are understanding their risk-taking moments. At the same time, there are too many tasks in 2 days that they should fulfill. And those tasks, outdoor tasks, has theoretical background behind to share. And those tasks, outdoor tasks, are actually referring this EntreComp competences behind. So after reflecting and evaluating of this outdoor experience for 2 days in the woods or in a trekking trail, hiking trail, when the participants are back, they are reflecting personally and also individually and also as a group what kind of competences they should gain in order to be an entrepreneur. Or there also another outcome of the training model could be, I don't think I would be an entrepreneur, but maybe I would follow to make a career in a big corporation. So to decide their path to go. It is giving them to, let's say, understand the limits and the competences that they would like to gain. This is the first part of the program. The second part is based on business planning, business plan canvas. How to develop a business plan, and by knowing their competences and by knowing which ones they should gain. Maybe I can share some visuals of this model that we did to make it more visual in your mind.
By the way, we have 10 minutes more. I have talked with Annabelle, so yeah, we don't have to rush.
Yes.
Okay, for example, these are the first 2 days of the training courses that each participant is explaining what is their unemployment situation in their country and what are the reasons of youth unemployment. Like Solly already mentioned from South Africa, that there are too many young people who are unemployed and they don't know how to solve this problem like a package, because maybe you are empowering to let them start their own business, like some funding opportunities or some market researchers. It's not enough to empower them. So first, they are putting the reality from their own countries, what are the situation. And then after that, upcoming sessions, they try to come up with some local and international solutions, how to fund their business idea or how to do advocacy for decision makers to support young people who are unemployed, for example. This is the first part. And they're also getting more familiar with the entrepreneurship subject. And then I can show you another one. From the hiking experience, I would say. In these 2 days of getting ready, and we are also giving them what is outdoor education and how to use it as a tool. Then we are asking participants to get ready with their hiking materials, and at the same time, they are given some basic needs like compass, map, some survival kit, first aid kit, and we are asking them to share their food and all the materials according to what they need. So, for example, we are not giving them equally some lunch packs or some packages that they can survive in the hike for 2 days. Why? Because we are trying to see if they are using these sources that they have in an efficient way, because we are referring all this methodology to business planning or entrepreneurship in the end. or when they start hiking, for example, they are having a kind of task that each person in the group should lead the rest of the group during the day, for example, upcoming 1 hour with the compass and a map. Some people, they don't know how to use a compass or a map, or some people are coming to do hiking first time in their life. So in this case, they are learning how to get the responsibility of other people, because with their decision, it will be clear if they're gonna go on the right. Such as if you are running a company, you're also responsible of your employees. At the same time, your one decision that you're going to give to maybe to make your company bigger or in a different way, it will affect everybody. So if they are consulting their employees or their colleagues or no. So there are too many tasks like this. So we are referring each activity to entrepreneurship area. Maybe I can show some more examples here to. By the way, there is also a video, but if I show the video, the sound will come from the same screen or no? Do you see it now?
Sure. Yes, because we don't know how much we spent, maybe 3 days in the hotel. Yes, and now finally.
Some outdoor work, huh?
Pressure.
Okay. For example, I'm going. For example, right now, in this video, what they are doing, there is a task that during their hike, they have to, if they are running, passing through a village, they are going and talking with the local people, and then they're offering help in order to exchange something that they can use during the hike. But it could be a kind of nice activity, but at the same time, we are trying to measure if young people are ready to talk with the customers or consumers to understand their needs directly in order to provide a service in their business. So that's why they are helping the local people during the hike, to talk to them, to understand their needs, and to design a service system or a product according to their needs. So all this task that I am showing is referring another, let's say, tool. And the last thing that I can show you is this business planning, business canvas planning site. For example, in this training course, we use this entrepreneurship board game. I don't know if you see it on the screen, on the picture. It's on the ground, the yellow board. And then here, there are different colors, and some colors are describing their level on entrepreneurship business plan canvas. Some of them are describing if they want to design a social entrepreneurship business plan or entrepreneurship business plan. So they are deciding themselves according to their business idea, and they are working 1 or 2 full day on their business plan in different groups. And then after that, they are trying to present it and then get some funds from the business angels. So this is the model. In the end, of course, we are giving them feedbacks in the program, and then we are measuring and in the evaluation what is their next step in the upcoming months. So at this 5 months, we are monitoring them. We don't give them tents, but we give them tent material that they can make a shelter themselves, or they can use different sources in the nature that they can do. Of course, it seems very adventurous, but at the same time, it is risk-taking. That's why we are minimizing the risk. So we have to use this trail and the hiking in advance as a trainer. We have to walk and hike ourselves. And plus, we have to have plan B all the time, because in order to have some injuries, what to do, this is important. By the way, is it okay, the connection? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, but it's okay now, but yes, in 2 minutes ago it was freezing.
Okay, maybe I can rephrase and closing it up. And also Aytaç maybe would like to add some more things in the end. What I would say is 2 days are outdoor activity, but 5 days are indoor. So it should be supported by non-formal education methodology, I would say. Outdoor part, you should definitely have some trainers, or I don't know, outdoor expert you in case of the trail there are some unexpected, but as an impact and the evaluation, definitely it is worth to use this outdoor education. The learning level is really high for the participants. Plus, after COVID, everyone is stuck home, especially young people. That could be good for them to connect with the nature. This is what I can say. Aytaç would like to add some more things.
Before I touch, I have to go to main room, but you have last 1 minute again.
Yes.
I hope sessions went well. And if you would like to summarize the sessions, I'm asking participants, actually, you can briefly summarize. And if from the first group, who would like to summarize what has been told in the group? Maybe, yeah, Berat.
Okay. I don't know who is the first group first. Okay. So basically, thank you very much for participation. It was really nice questions, because first of all, this training modules that we designed, plus this outdoor education that we mentioned for the summer camps, there are two different programs. So for training modules for youth workers, it's a nice tool. However, we shouldn't use this only as a tool, but we should also support young people in the ecosystem of entrepreneurship. What is waiting for them? Maybe empowering is nice with the EntreComp model, but what's going to be after or before to let them be a young entrepreneur, to support them in this field? So these are the feedbacks and also suggestions from the group I would mention. And plus we also try to answer and give some feedbacks and come up with some ideas of how to design this training modules with different target groups, such as young entrepreneurs from 12 to 16 years old students, how to give them EntreComp model of entrepreneurship workshops. This is what we told. And in the end of the workshop, we had chance to see how outdoor education methodology, trekking and hiking experience can be referred to EntreComp and entrepreneurship model. So thank you very much for your questions and also your contribution. For more information, of course, we are ready to help you on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Berat. And from the second group, who would like to summarize what has been told?
I think I had the assignment to do the summarize. So is it okay, Carmen and Sarah?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Please.
I think the goal was that playing cardboard games can with young children, we can learn some entrepreneurial competences, or we can choose which entrepreneurial competences we can develop by using some known card games or board games that that children use already. So it's before you use that, you have to create some kind of an atmosphere so that the children can go into that they can live into the concept. You have to explain what competences you will work with, and then afterwards they have to discuss with each other what they have learned. You have to also be aware that when using games, there will be a lot of enthusiasm, conflicts, some cheating. So if you are well aware that those behavior will come up, you have to explain the rules at first, be respectful, polite, have patience with each other. And it's very interesting to let also time for the children to have some decompressive, to tell about their feelings, to tell about what competences they find out during the game, and how they relate with the competences of the EntreComp flower. I think that is what was told.
Thank you very much, Marie. You did it great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Marie. And I think it's time to close up because we are 3 minutes left. Yeah, I would like to thank you all, our trainers, Carmen, Sarah, Berat, and Aytaç, and because they shared their knowledge and their experiences. And also thanks to Annabelle for organizing this open space together. And of course, participants, you attended actively. Thank you. And just